yet this morning, and I say that tongue in cheek because I'm hoping that he doesn't need to surface. The last I heard from him, he's at his bachelor party out on a boat somewhere up in Tomahawk with a bunch of buddies, and haven't heard from him since. So,
Wait a minute. What lake were they on?
I don't know. Why? Don't even tell me.
No, because that's where I live.
Yeah, you live up there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you hear a bunch of wild fools up there running around on a lake someplace?
There was a party. There was a pontoon boat that went out last night around, I don't know, 11:30.
Yeah, that probably would. That would have.
But we're on just a regular lake. We're not on the flowage or anything.
No, that would be probably about where. Yeah, they're on just a regular lake. Some cabin they got someplace. Yeah. A pontoon boat. I think that's what they've got too.
Don't know. I couldn't see them. I could just hear a bunch of people.
Yeah.
That were out. You know, I was like, wow, party cruise this time of night.
Well, that sounds like it. Just an awful coincidence right there. So
interesting.
Yeah.
We will have to find out.
Yeah, they said they were going fishing. I just can't imagine a whole bunch of guys in a bachelor party with.
I'm sure they were fishing.
Yeah, fishing for. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I'm not sure we can even mention some of that stuff. I
doubt it.
Violating FCC rules just by talking about it. I'm not sure. Well, so that was interesting having Kenyon on there. What do you think about going swimming with gators? You seem like an adventurous fella.
I would be more apt to do that than to do something than stand on the edge of a high rise. Really? Yes.
Huh. Well, maybe we can arrange that. Do you snowmobile?
I used to quite a bit, but now I'm more of I never have enough funds to do what I want to do, so I'm always looking for go spend money or go make money.
Well, see, that's the thing. Would none of us ever have enough funds to do what we want to do? But I'm just looking for ways we can trade. Because Kenyon he's like me. When you're in the outdoor business, we'll trade anything. We swap everything. So it's like, well, I've got this that I can do, and you've got something that you got in your backyard. So let's swap.
Gotcha.
So if he swims with gators every day and goes crawfish gigging or whatever they call it, and we've got snowmobiles and ice fishing. Oh, you know what? I should have asked him that. I guarantee you he'd never been on the ice. Speaking of that, okay.
That brings out the whole thing about the 5-gallon pail and the styrofoam cooler.
Yeah.
Well, actually, at that point, you really don't need the cooler, but
I got a story about ice fishing with somebody that had never been ice fishing before, and I'm going to see if somebody remembers this story. So I got a hunting buddy that this guy has been hunting with me since I met my wife. Since I met the mother of my first two kids, and this would have been, I was a teenager, and I met this guy. He's not a kid anymore, but I met him when he was like just starting to hunt. And we used to go out west hunting in Colorado, and we used to go all over the place. And we've got a ton of hunting stories to tell. They're hilarious, some of them. Some of them he might not think are too funny.
Uh-oh.
But we haven't hunted together in a lot of years. So I'm going to see. I know he's listening right now. So, Brad, if you're there, I want you to pick up your phone and call our phone number right now, our call-in line at 715-298-9888. And we're going to talk about some of our hunting stories. So, and in the meantime, I'm going to start telling you about taking somebody ice fishing. I don't know if Brad was in the truck with us or not. I think he was, but I had a service guy that worked for me, and this guy was I was selling farm equipment at the time, and this service guy was from Missouri, and he'd never been ice fishing before in his life. And it was one of them winters, where the top of the ice was thawing, and then it got all slushy, and then it refroze, so you had that top crust. Then you had nothing, and then you had hard ice underneath it. So we took this guy from Missouri. We were going to go to Lawrence Lake down by Westfield, south of Westfield down there, and we were going to there was a fishery down there, and we told the guy that we were going to take him out on ice fishing, and he said, I've never been ice fishing before, and what's it all about? And we told him and everything, and so we go out in the morning, it's dark. We start taking the truck down on the lake, we stop and we register that we're going in. And he's scared to death. And we're in a cab and a half pickup truck. This is before the days when all the crew cabs were really popular. So we had a Chevy cab and a half, and he's sitting in the back, and the back doors don't, this is before even the cab and a half even opened up. He's in the back end, and we start out across the lake. He's already panicking, freaking out. And we get out there a couple hundred yards, and I slowed down a little bit, and we broke through that top layer,
All right, yeah.
Well, when we did, we opened up the front doors, and we started panicking fake panicking that we were going to break through the ice. We're like, oh, no, we're going down. And we started panicking and everything and freaking out and scaring the heck out of this guy. He's trying to crawl over the back seats, trying to get out of that truck.
You're mean.
Because it was hilarious. So then, after we scared the snot out of him with that, we got out to, we finally get set up and the sun starts coming up. We got all of our tip-ups out there. And, for me, I'm not a big jig fisherman. I like to just set out my tip-ups and sit there and chill out with the guys, and wait for something to come along that's not big enough to keep anyway, and whatever.
The life of fishing.
Yeah. So we got all the tip-ups out there, and of course, he's one of these guys that is used to fishing open water, so he can't understand that. Why would you want to put tip-ups anywhere near the truck? You got to put them way out there, So, of course, we let him put them way out there. Go ahead. Well, then the day comes up, and it starts slowing down, and the sun's coming, and he's sitting there. And as he starts to chill out and starts to half take a nap, we'd go out there and flip his flag all the time.
Oh, my word.
And every time he would go and start pulling on that line, he'd feel his shiner, his minnow, wiggling. So as soon as he'd feel that, because he had never done this before, remember, he'd feel it. He'd set the hook because he thought he had felt.
Oh, my.
And he fell for this thing over and over. And he would always come back and tell us, and I felt him. He was right there, And I set the hook and missed him. And we would always, because the thing is, we'd flip the flag, and then we'd watch him go out there, and all of a sudden we'd see him start, and then we'd see him set the hook and pulling, and we were thinking, what in the world is he doing,
Wow.
We messed with that guy all day long.
Did he ever come back?
No. No, we never took him again. So
I would. Wow. You're just mean.
I have a little bit of a mean streak, actually. There's some guys that'll tell you I'm kind of a jerk to hunt with, but I pull a lot of mean tricks on people.
Let me guess. Considered practical jokes.
Well, yeah, that's just kind of, I like to have fun and stuff, and sometimes my practical jokes make people a little bit upset.
So in other words, what you're saying is that at some point in time, that dump truck full of stuff is going to get dumped on you quite heavily.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's coming.
But apparently you've set the bar fairly high, so it's going to take, it's going to be quite massive.
Well, I've been kind of daring people for a lot of years.
And just nobody's taking you up on it.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, we mess with guys all the time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
See, I used to hunt. Now my son is my hunting buddy mostly because nobody else will hunt with me anymore.
Imagine that.
But I used to hunt with my youngest brother, Dan. He used to go with me all the time, and then again, like I said, my brother-in-law Brad, and his brother Richie would go once in a while, but he'd kind of quit going. He ended up living in the South, so Brad and my father-in-law Rick, we hunted together all the time. We hunted everything, coyotes, you name it. We run out of time again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about some more of these great hunting stories afterwards. So.
Welcome to the battle of the Masters of Meat. Today's contest will see two challengers vying for the title of Best Meat Market in central Wisconsin.
And now for the main event. In the south corner from Highway 10 East and Stevens Point, just behind Culver's and Buffalo Wild Wings, we have the challenger, Dave the Brotmeister Tuskowski. And in the north corner, from 4516 Rib Mountain Drive in Rib Mountain, we have our other challenger, Craig the Steakmeister Wolf.
Let's go now to center ring, where our referee for today's Battle of the Masters of Meat will give the final instructions to the challengers. Our referee today is the Grill Sergeant.
Now, I want you to remember that you're both champions. Brotmeister, you got the freshest, juiciest, and tastiest brats available anywhere. And you, Steakmeister, have the finest cold-aged ribeye, porterhouse, and sirloin steaks this side of creation. Heck, there's no contest here. You're both winners.
Ski's Meat Market at Stevens Point and Rib Mountain, open 10 to 6 Monday to Friday, 9 to 6 Saturday, and 10 to 4 Sunday. Our quality is always worth the stop.
Check out Adrenaline Hydrographics in a Cedar Creek Mall. Put a custom finish on anything you want. Choose from over 1,000 different patterns and colors, including camos, wood grains, carbon fibers, and custom prints like flames, skull patterns, and flag scenes. They can customize your Harley parts, baseball helmets and hard hats, guns and gun stocks, fishing poles, deer skulls, coat racks, you name it. Pretty much anything you can paint, they can put a custom pattern on for you. Adrenaline Hydrographics in the Cedar Creek Mall.
Tired of the hot summer heat? Time to get those ACs working.
We got to get the ACs working anyway, but Dave, we're going to bring it back. Biggie Outdoor Radio here. And we got a good caller on the line. Finally, he called in. I kind of coaxed him enough, and he finally called, and I got my no brother good-in-law, Brad, on the line here. How you doing, Brad?
Very good. Good morning.
You sound very wide awake this morning.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah?
Ready to rock and roll. We're taking the little ones to the Dells. So.
The Dells. We got things going on right here in town.
Well, they want to go to the Dells.
Oh, I see.
Noah's Ark.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, got to go play in the water. I hope the sun comes out for you.
I hope so. Otherwise, it's humid. Should be nice.
Yeah, even if the sun does. Well, they won't get a sunburn that way.
Wrong.
Maybe. Yeah, that's right. It still burns through the clouds. We found that
Right.
out in our old age. So we were talking about some of the reasons that some guys don't think it's fun to hunt with me anymore. Can you think of any reasons why that would be, Brad?
None off the top of my head.
Because, I don't know, have you ever been around when I've picked on people or anything like that?
Never. I've never experienced that firsthand.
No?
But yeah, I've heard of it being done.
Yeah.
Maybe on the way back from Colorado.
Oh yeah, I do remember that time. Yeah, we actually have we that time we had CBs in the vehicles, and so that we could communicate and keep each other awake, and we hacked on Brad so long that he finally turned his CB off and wouldn't talk to us anymore. You believe that?
Yes. I do.
Hard to believe.
Yeah. He called me names that are on that list of 7 things I can't say on the radio.
Mostly probably number 4 and number 5.
Could be, yeah. They were on there.
I don't know. We always had good times, though. Great
Yes.
times. A lot of great hunts.
Yep, We would go. We went to Colorado together a couple of times. We never got your dad out there with us, so.
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, we did
Yep.
the first time. We never got him to go back. We never got him as elk. That's what I mean.
Right.
We gotta
Right.
get him.
That's still on his bucket list. So
Yeah.
doing my darndest to get him back out there.
His bucket's getting kind of rusty if we don't get him out there soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Got to give it a kick, shine it up.
Yeah. So you heard me on the phone with Kenyon from Southern Boys Outdoors. Had you followed them guys? Do you know who they are?
I had not. No, I don't have a clue. But when I heard they're getting in the water with alligators, I don't know. I wasn't real crazy about that idea.
Well, you'll have to go on and check them out, and they'll have 1.3 million and one likes. Then see. Yeah, they're actually pretty well followed. They're a great bunch of guys. They do a lot of crazy stuff, and they're really up and coming. Their TV show, they don't even try to make it really, really big because everything that they do is social media. They're the number one social media or outdoor group on social media. They're huge. So
That's crazy.
yeah, anybody in the outdoor business that's looking to further themselves with social media and get their name out there really looks to those guys to work with them. That's how big they are.
That's pretty big. That's
yeah.
pretty big of them, I would say.
Yeah, they get flown all over the place. Like Kawasaki flew them somewhere, and to represent and ride their new rides. And he actually does stuff for Kid Rock, ads for Kid Rock, puts them on, takes care of their social media ads and things like that. And then did something to do with the PBR, the bull riding stuff, and Kid Rock and things like that. So I mean, yeah, these guys really have their stuff together. He decided rather than focusing on TV like everybody else was, he was going to work on Facebook. So that's what he does, 20 hours a day.
That's a really, really different angle.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of that.
Nope, but I guess that's the way of the world. So,
Yeah.
so what do we got to do to get you out in the woods with us again? Or in the water with the alligators. How about that? Would you do it?
Negative. Yep, that's not happening.
If Brandon and I got in the water with the alligators with you, would you get in?
I wouldn't get in the water with the alligators. It'd take a large chunk of money to do that.
Oh, come on.
I don't even know. No way.
You've always been a
Nope.
thrill seeker.
I have, but as you get older and wiser, older anyway, there's just certain things I won't do anymore.
You only live once, you know.
I know it.
Or would you be more willing to throw the alligator in with Patrick and Brandon?
No, probably not, because I wouldn't wish any harm on either one of you guys. So
I thought he was going to say, not Brandon.
Gimpy, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. As far as getting me in the woods, just gotta say, hey, all I need is an invite, and as long as it's not, too far away, and I've got the time, I'll be there. I'm always game for going in the woods. That's
about
kind of where I
Africa?
like to live.
How about Africa? You think your wife would let you come to Africa with me?
Probably not.
Why not?
I would have to free up a large chunk of my schedule for that.
Oh, we could get it done in a week for you and get you shipped back home.
Takes like a week to fly there, doesn't it? How many flights is it to get there?
Well, it depends on which route you take. You can get there in a day and a half.
Wow.
It's not that bad. You get back.
No,
you get back in a day. It's because of
Tailwind, right?
well, no, it's because of you're flying against time and then with time and all that kind of stuff.
I got you.
Yeah.
I would say whatever the time frame is, it'd be well worth it either way. But yeah, that's certainly on my bucket list too.
It's once you've done that, I will tell you that it makes hunting deer in Wisconsin kind of mundane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see the.
In the daylight, anyway. No, I'm just kidding. We don't do that anymore.
Those days are long gone.
Long gone, yeah.
We're much better people now.
Yeah.
I don't.
We don't condone any of that kind of stuff anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
How long we got? Yeah, we
Not proud of any of that.
no. I'm telling you, that's the thing is, as we grew and stuff, it's amazing how much we changed and how much we realized how to become better stewards of the outdoors, and we wanted to teach our kids to hunt better. And you look back to things that we had done in the past and the way we were brought up even, and now look at where we've come. Things really changed, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You'd never figured that I'd be doing what I'm doing now and sitting where I am, I would imagine.
No, but it's great. And I know I know it was a dream of yours, and you're passionate about it, and it shows in your voice, it shows in your shows. So, yeah, my hat's off to you.
Well, I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
like I said, the only thing that we got to do to get you coming along with us sometimes is getting your schedule freed up. I know that you're really busy, and we've kind of lost touch with that. We had some good times together out there climbing the mountains, and I got to tell you some other little things. Brad's colorblind, which you'd say, so what? Well, Brad can't see blood, so he can't track real well. The other thing is that one time, this is a good story.
Uh-oh.
I spotted some elk way up high on a mountain, and I already had my elk spotted, or I don't remember if I had mine dead or if I had mine spotted or what I was doing. But anyway, they were way up on a peak, and it was called Grizzly Peak. Remember this, Brad?
I do.
You remember this story?
I think I might. Are those the elk that I couldn't see?
It wasn't just the elk. So you're going to remember this as we go.
Uh-oh.
So we spotted, the elk up there. And so we said, well, Brad, it's going to be easy. We'll drive up there. We'll drive up the road as far as we can get. And then you get out and you start going straight up the mountain. We'll come back way over here, which is a few miles back. And then we'll watch with the spotting scopes and we'll guide you in, right?
Right.
So Brad, this is hilarious. Brad says, okay, I got an idea. What I'll do is I'll put these little ribbons on the trees on the way up. That way I can find my way back down. None of us thought about the fact that as he's putting these red ribbons on the trees on his way up, number one, he's colorblind. Number two, he was putting them on the side of the tree on the way up. So when he was coming back down, he wouldn't be able to find them. Now, I don't know if that's really what happened, but the thing is as he came back down the mountain, he never found his ribbons.
In the dark.
In the dark. So, and he never found the elk up there either. He was up there and he's like, where are they? And we're like, okay, look, can you see this peak and this peak? He's like, yeah. We're like, okay, well then go to your left a little bit, and we were trying to guide him in on the elk. He couldn't find him. It got dark.
I think I actually bumped him on the way up. But yeah.
Yeah.
I came over a ridge and everything kind of exploded. I couldn't see anything. So I might have blown that hunt before I even got up there.
Yeah. So now he's getting frustrated. And
Okay.
so, of course, my brother is almost as bad as I am. We start teasing him. And we start teasing him that, some things I can't even say, We're like
Gander Mountain.
Yeah,
what are you doing up there, Gander Mountain?
Yeah, because he had the perfect clothes. He had new clothes, and he looked good. He really did. He looked good when he got out and headed up there. He looked. You could have taken a picture of him and put him on an ad. He looked awesome.
Okay.
So he goes up and he's heading up the mountain, and so we're calling him Gander Mountain and Poster Boy and all this kind of stuff. And then we get up there, we start teasing him that he's up there messing around with the marmots and and stuff. So he's coming down. He's quite upset. He's quite angry, and he's quite angry at us because of our hacking on him. And now he's lost. In not really bad loss, but lost enough. And we realized we lost radio contact with him.
Oh.
So, he's starting to get a little bit worried, but we're not because we know we're going to find him. I mean, all he's got to do is keep coming down. So
True.
Sooner or later, we're going to find him. So we start driving, we start heading back toward camp, and all of a sudden we get him on the radio. Well, the fact that we get him on the radio where we did is like, this is the wrong side of the mountain, Charlie. He's coming down in a valley that's not even close to where his truck is. So we tell him this, and he insists that, nope, he's going to go back up and come down by his truck. And we tell him, no, just keep coming down where you are. Where you come down in this valley, we'll come down back in on that creek, and we'll find you. Now we've come across a couple other outfitters. We told them what's going on, and we got other guys that are kind of helping watch for him and everything. And so Brad goes back up, and we're kind of tracking him by how strong the radio signal is when he's trying to talk to us. So it gets real staticky, and
Right.
you know. So we get up, we drive up by the truck, and he says, honk the horn, you know, and stuff. We're shining spotlights up in the air, hoping he'll see the light, and we're honking the horn and everything. And finally, he hears the horn. And we were watching, and we could hear that the radio signal is getting stronger. And finally, we saw Brad's flashlight.
Okay.
And Brad says, honk the horn again. I want to see if you guys are close. Well, we knew he was close. So I told my brother, I said, don't do anything. Just sit here. So we didn't honk the horn. And
Did you hear that?
I said, did you hear that? And he goes, no.
No.
That's exactly what he said on the radio. And I said, oh, no. I said, well, here, let me try it again. And then I said to my brother, I said, don't do anything. I said, okay, how about that? And he goes, no. He was probably only a couple hundred yards from the trucks, man. So we're messing with him, and then finally, you know, we turned the truck lights on and honked the horn and let him know, because he was about ready to. He said, well, I'm going to go back up then and come back down. He was about ready to turn around and go back up the mountain.
I had my backpack on. I had the survival kit, but I didn't feel like waking up or sleeping in 5-degree temps. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been too bad.
We were having a ball with him.
Oh yeah. Well, if you get off one ridge at the top, you're probably off about 3 or 4 at the bottom. So keep that in mind.
Well, Brad, you have fun at the Dells today with the kids, and we'll get you back on here again, and make sure you tune in and listen to us on the way. So
That sounds great. Thanks for the time, and have a great day yourself.
all right, take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back, I guess, after these messages. Just by the way you were looking at me, I didn't know you were going to wait for the closing.
Tired of the hot summer heat? Time to get those ACs working. Head on in to Thunder Lube at their new location, 1015 South 17th Avenue in Wausau. Thunder Lube is a full-service center handling tires, brakes, exhaust, tune-ups, and much more. No appointment needed for oil changes. Get a punch card when you get a full service and get your 10th service free. That's Thunder Lube, complete auto service center, South 17th Avenue in Wausau.
Looking for the best burger in town? Check out Brews Brothers in Weston, just off Highway 29 at Camp Phillips exit. Voted best burger in Wausau 2014 and 2015. Fresh burger ground daily from country fresh meats, fresh buns, and 35 draft beers on tap from local and regional breweries. Enjoy fresh cut fries and chips made to order. Open 11 to 11 Sunday through Thursday and 11 to midnight Friday and Saturday. Brews Brothers, Camp Phillips Road in Weston.
Here's your Central Wisconsin weather eye forecast powered by weatherology.com. For today, some patchy fog possible early on. Otherwise, do pick up a slight chance for some afternoon showers and storms, those highs reaching near 80. Then for tonight, still a slight chance for a storm, some patchy fog once again a possibility, those lows near 63. For the day on Monday, showers and storms early in the day, upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Michael Caro for Sports Fan 100.5. Right now, it's 63.
Hey, welcome back. Here you're listening to Biggie Outdoor Radio on Sports Fan 100.5 out of Wausau. And we are bringing everything to you from the outdoors. We'll talk about anything here that's whether it's racing or mud bogging or fishing and hunting. And Cecil the Lion, we talked about him last week plenty. He's getting a lot of attention. I'm going to tell you, this segment is actually brought to you by Brews Brothers on Highway X in Weston, just off Highway 29. And they got great burgers and hand-cut fries, and it all ties in them bringing this segment to you. We going out to eat and stuff like that with our vehicle that's wrapped by the guys from Auto Trim and Sign, we kind of get a little bit of attention to the Biggie Outdoors vehicle, and it always strikes up conversations wherever we go. And then, of course, Cecil the Lion seems to come up quite a bit right now. And then folks start asking me questions, and then, of course, they don't realize that I spend the amount of time in Africa that I do right now. I just got back from a month in Africa, and actually was hunting pretty close to Cecil and the incident that went on there. And so when somebody has actually been there and has a little bit more information and knows what's going on, that's when the absurdity of all this stuff starts to really kick in. And I had a gal that when she heard that I actually was over there and we hunted a couple of lions, she actually rolled her eyes and thought, oh no, that she just couldn't believe it, and wanted to know why we would hunt lions. And she said, do people actually eat lion meat? And I said, yes, some people do eat lion meat. Now, not all lions are eaten, but their meat is still used, and it's used for other things. So we got into talking about this whole park incident, and she wanted to know why some people were saying that this lion was killed in the park. Some people were saying that it was killed on the edge of the park. And so I explained to her how Hwange National Park worked. And this is facts. The anti-hunters don't like to bring all the facts to the table, but this is fact. Now, I don't know the guy that shot the lion. I don't even know the PHs that did this, but I know the area, I know the incident and how you hunt lions, and so I can tell you truth behind this stuff. When Hwange National Park was made and it was turned into a no hunting area and a national park, the local people around there with the villages and the cities and things like that were very upset and very worried about dangerous game. They're worried about elephants coming into their cities and causing damage, and they were worried about Cape buffalo doing the same. They were worried about leopards and lions attacking their livestock and their kids and things like that, because those are concerns. I mean, that's the reasons that when you look at why the numbers of a lot of those animals were on a decline, it wasn't because of hunters, and that's where the antis like to try to push us all into one group. It was because of poachers or because of people just killing them. It was because they were killing them off because
NIMBY.
Yeah, this is how I would explain it. It'd be like, here we are in Wausau, and all of a sudden they decide to take all the area around Rib Mountain, the whole area, get all the houses out of there, and they decide that they're going to fill that area full of mountain lions and wolves and wolverines and a whole bunch of just wild animals, elk and deer and whatever. They just want to fill it up and just leave it. There's not going to be any fences. They're just going to make that into a natural wildlife area. Okay? They're going to fill it up. And we're going to say, wait a minute. What happens when those wolves and those mountain lions start coming into Wausau, where we got daycares and we got kids and we got, people, and our dogs are in the backyards and things like that. So that's what happened. So the conservation people from Hwange, now you got to understand that they keep saying that the authorities or the conservation authorities, there's a conservation authority group that runs Hwange National Park. Those are not game wardens. Those are liberal park rangers. And then you have the people that handle the actual game laws and stuff that are like the game wardens that handle the country of Zimbabwe. Okay. So they established a zone all the way around the park. And between that zone and the park, there is actually a railroad. So there's a railroad track.
Okay.
So if you're a hunter, you don't cross a railroad track, period. And then after they cross the railroad track, the animals do. There's a zone that's huge. It's wide. It's a great big zone area that's kind of like a no-live zone or whatever. You'd say a no-fly zone, type thing.
Right.
That area is designated for hunting. If any of these animals come through there, they're open, fair game for hunting. And the reason that they're open is because that is supposed to stop them from getting to...
Buffer zone.
It's a buffer zone. That's exactly what it is. So that property still is considered Hawaii property, but it's not. It's not the. It's not the park.
It's considered their property, but it's not part of the designated
It's not
preserve area.
It's not the preserve. So and then the other thing is that the way lions are hunted by baiting and drag. You set out a drag, you drag so that they smell or something had gone, and then they put up meat. I mean, that's just natural. It's also legal in Zimbabwe to shoot an animal with a collar on it, because there's a lot of them that have collars. It'd be like a tagged fish, or something like that. You're supposed, or a goose with a tag on its leg. You kill it, and you're supposed to say, hey, I got this lion with a tag. So that stuff is really not an issue, but they're throwing that in to try to blow this thing up and make it look even bigger. The issue comes down to, did they have a tag for that zone that they were in? And that comes down, it's like having a bear tag for zone A and you shot it in zone B, or you having a wolf tag for, I don't know where the wolf tags run, but let's say they gave out wolf tags by counties, and you had one for Marathon County, and you went down to Portage County and shot a wolf down there. That could have happened, and that's what we have to wait and see. So if they did, then it still comes back that how much did this dentist know? And I doubt, he may have had a game violation here in Wisconsin. Well, that doesn't mean that he knew what was going on there. I've had speeding tickets. That doesn't make me a bank robber. The thing is that when you go, I take a lot of people to Africa to hunt, and when you go over there, most of the people that I take, they don't even know what country they're in. If I'm hunting in northern South Africa, I could drive easily into Zimbabwe, and they wouldn't know whether they were in Zimbabwe or South Africa. We know. I know, and my PHs that are over there, they know, the professional hunters, because that's our job. But, you can drive a little bit, and we know where the borders and the cutoffs and things like that are. So the hunters have to trust their PHs. And, one day we could be over here hunting kudu, and we say, hey, you know what, the kudu, there's just not a lot here. We're going to get in, we're driving an hour and a half, we're going to go to another spot, and we're going to hunt kudu over there, another guy's farm or something like that. And they do it all the time. For instance, black wildebeest. If you hunt a black wildebeest up in some parts of South Africa where we're at, if you kill it there, we have to fill out special paperwork there. It's a permitted animal. It's not a big deal. We have to fill out special paperwork. If you kill it down in the Free State, then you don't need to have these certain permits or these certain, paperwork, because in the Free State zone or whatever, then that animal is not a permitted animal, or, and there's different things that go on. So when the hunter wouldn't actually know the difference. So a PH that was doing things wrong could say, well, you killed this black wildebeest up here on our farm up in the Limpopo area, which is totally legal. You just have to fill out the permit paperwork for it there. So he killed it up there, and we're too lazy to do the paperwork or whatever, so we're just going to say, or we didn't get the permit filed or whatever, didn't get it, so we're just going to say you killed it down in the Free State. Now, the hunter doesn't even know you did that. The hunter goes and he kills all his animals, he pays for them, he gets on the plane and goes home. It's up to the PH to handle all the paperwork and the skins and getting it all sent back to you. So at that time, they don't even know what happened. So this very well could have happened with his dentist, and he may not have known. And so he might have a legitimate claim when he's saying that he doesn't know that he didn't know that these guys did or didn't have a tag. So, everybody's coming down on him, and it's not really his fault. But then again, it could be. You don't know. He could have been part of it. They could have told him. They could have leveled with him, but
not in his defense by any means. But at the same time, when you hire someone to do all of that background and permitting and whatnot, you are you hired somebody that claims that they do this for a living, and you're trusting them to have all the appropriate paperwork and what have you, so that you're spending how much money to go on safari or shoot big game. I'm not in his defense, but at the same time, there is that, obviously you have to do your research, I would say, on, either via anecdotally, or you have to, I get call, email, contact these people to find out what they provide or don't provide.
Well, see,
it's, unless you have some contact somehow or experience, how are you going to know which ones are going to be legitimate and or not legitimate?
Yeah, you don't even know you don't have to have licenses. It's not like you go over there and buy a big game license or anything. You go over there and the PHs handle the hunting.
I understand, yeah.
So, you're totally in their hands over there. So they do take responsibility for everything that you do as a hunter. So
are those that would be the two guys that are currently in the legal system over there would be?
Yeah. They're the ones that ultimately it's going to fall on them. And, when they're saying that people are calling for the extradition of this guy, the only people that I've heard that have been calling for his extradition, and that has been PETA and our anti-organizations. I don't believe that anybody from the Zimbabwe's legitimate legal structure is doing that yet. So we'll wrap it up, and we'll come back and talk about some more things right after a few messages from our sponsors. Well, Brandon, you know what I can use after a long day out in the woods?
Yeah, good massage from These Hands Massage Therapy.
That's right. Massage isn't just for relaxation either. It's a health advantage. They work on rotator cuff injuries, low back, neck, sciatica, and lots of other injuries.
That's great for guys with a long list of injuries like you, and you can get a gift card for someone as well.
Yep, and mention the Big E radio show, you get $10 off your massage. They're open Monday through Saturday by appointment. These Hands Massage Therapy on 17th Avenue by Walgreens in Wausau.
Welcome to Blue Willow Cafe, where you'll find home cooking at its best. This cozy cafe offers an unforgettable breakfast that'll keep you coming back for more. Blue Willow's family-friendly atmosphere with made-from-scratch homemade food has become a favorite gathering place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Enjoy delicious homemade soups, pies, day-of-the-week specials, and more. All in smoke-free dining with family-friendly pricing. Open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Join us at Blue Willow Cafe, North 4th Avenue, Wausau.
Every single day, people just like you are leading happier, healthier lives by working out at Snap Fitness.
My name is Carol Wisey. I was overweight and not feeling so good about myself. I just woke up one morning and decided enough's enough. The hardest step is walking into that gym because I'm sure you're going to feel self-conscious. When I walked through the door for the first time, I can honestly tell you I did not feel that way. They have so many different membership options. You don't need to be locked into a long-term contract. My physical health since I started working out at Snap Fitness has changed dramatically. I have a lot more energy. I'm happier. It will change your life. It will change your family's life. I promise you, if you take that first step and join Snap Fitness, you will not regret it.
Summer is heating up. Snap Fitness is now offering summer for $99 or summer for free. Stop in Wausau, Weston, or Mosinee for a tour and more details. Take advantage of this deal while it's hot. Snap Fitness, locally owned and operated. Be well.
When you're cruising down the road and watching wheels are straight, call VIP Auto Body night or day. day.
BRB Auto Body knows that protecting your vehicle's value is important. That's why they only offer Line-X spray-on bed liners for trucks. Line-X, the industry leader in bed liners backed by a lifetime warranty, offers unmatched protection against gouges, rips, and tears. No lost cargo space and a rattle-free, quiet ride. And BRB Auto Body knows that life without your vehicle can be, at best, very difficult. That's why they offer Premier Rent-A-Car for your convenience. Premier Rent-A-Car offers competitive rates for all your rental car needs. No replacement vehicle coverage. When BRB repairs your car, they'll supply you with a complimentary vehicle at no cost. Call BRB Auto Body today at 359-9792 or check them out at brbautobodyinc.com.
Expect a quality job from BRB Auto Body. BRB Auto Body. BRB Auto Body.
County Highway XX in Rothschild.
Hey, it's Mike with Auto Trim and Sign here in Wausau.
Hey, welcome back here at Biggie Outdoor Radio. It seems like our commercials keep jumping ahead on us here. So we'll make it work one way or the other. We're live this morning without my backup man. It's because he is out someplace adrift in Tomahawk with his bachelor party next weekend. Brandon's going to be getting married, so we could probably lose him to the world of happily wedded bliss, or whatever you want to call that. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Oh. Have you ever been?
No.
Oh.
Some would say that's smart. Others would say you're missing out.
You know, I'm going to say you're missing out, you poor guy, you know.
However, that does...
It's because my wife is listening.
Oh, I'm just waiting for the phone to ring now.
You know, I'm going to tell you a story about some dirty tricks I pulled on her that have to do with hunting. I was going to go down to hunt turkeys. I was going to start something this year that I didn't actually get going on, but we're going to do it next year. I was going to do the Super Slam of turkeys with the bow. And it's kind of funny because there's a...
Meaning what?
There's a Grand Slam, then there's there's the North American Super Slam, and it's Grand Slam, then there's a World Slam. I don't know how it all works anyway. It depends on what you do. The first North American Super Slam is all the species that live in the United States. Like there's the Osceola turkey, and then we have the Eastern. That one's the most common. That's everywhere. And then there's the Rio and the Merriams. I knew I was forgetting one. So there's 4. And then...
So different areas of the country then?
Yeah, those are all in different areas. Like the Merriams you'll find in Nebraska and the Dakotas and places like that. And actually in Nebraska you can get the Rio and the Merriams, but mostly then you get the Rios down in Texas and places like that. And then the only place you can get the Osceola turkey is in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's the only place. And then there's the Goulds and the Ocellated, and one of them's in, like, as you get into Mexico, you'll get one, and then the other one is, like, you got to go to South America to get it. And so then as you get the 5th one, then you get into, like, the Super Slam, and then the next one is the World Slam. So it's like Grand Slam, Super Slam, World Slam, something like that. So anyway, I was going to start out and do the North American, slam, however the heck that works. I'm sure that Brad will text me and tell me what the heck's up because he's a big turkey hunter. So anyhow, I was going to take my wife down with me to go turkey hunting, and I told her that, in order for me to take her hunting, she had to learn how to call. And I believe, I can't remember if it was that or if it was the coyote hunt I was going to take her on. I think it was the coyote hunt. And yeah, it was, because I didn't tell her that I had an electronic call. And I told her she had to practice making the calls, because I said, I can't shoot and run the camera and call, so you have to have somebody call. She said, well, why can't you make the sounds? So I would play like video clips of people hunting with the call in the background, but I wouldn't show that they were using a call. I would tell her, yeah, see, they got somebody that's sitting in the bushes making that noise. And then the guy gets ready to shoot because the coyote comes in and he's focusing on where that sound is coming from. So I need you to practice making those noises.
Oh, boy.
And she was practicing, and I couldn't figure out how to get it set up so I could catch her on camera, because I was going to try to set up GoPros. And I was going to make this part of the television thing. And then I was going to tape her actually doing this while we were out hunting. It was the coyote hunt. Because she was actually practicing in the garage and in all kinds of places, where nobody could see her. She was practicing making all these varmint sounds and these coyote call sounds so she could be my caller.
You're lucky you're even married.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. I wanted to get her on film doing that. And
wow, I can just see, especially if she would have gone to...
I didn't tell her I have a $500 call with a little fake rabbit on it and everything, and I can control it, remote control and all that,
All she'd have to do is go to a female judge. She'd say, skip the paperwork. I'll sign here. You're done.
You have no idea.
I'm sure there's more than a few stories you could tell that they'd be perfectly grounds. It would even work in California as grounds. Where they have to actually show, reason for...
Well, when you're breaking in somebody that's never hunted before, there's a lot of tricks you can pull on them. I'm surprised her son didn't tell her. I mean, he's a big hunter, and I would have thought...
He was aware of these conversations?
I'm sure he was. I think I even filled him in a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm sure that my stepson's going to throw me under the bus on this and give me away. But he didn't. Or he never did.
Either that, or he figured, I'm staying out of this. He'll let you dig your own hole.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because if he would have said something, then well.
Yeah. The thing is, then she didn't end up taking off of work to go along. But if she had, and I could have put this whole thing together, they would have made probably one of the best television episodes ever.
Now, she did find out about the call at some point, right?
She probably just did now.
I was just going to say, you just ruined a whole segment. If she doesn't know, well, now you're screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't think I could have got her to do it anyway now, because I think she's kind of...
learned enough?
Yeah, she's getting a little bit wiser to some of my stuff as I pull. Then I tried to do it. I tried to do it with the turkey thing, but then I couldn't get her to go out turkey hunting anyway in Florida because she's scared of snakes. And we've seen a lot of snakes down there, and she's like Brandon, scared to death of snakes.
Well, why don't you go to where was that? Something I saw on National Geographic, I believe.
I seen a lot of things on National Geographic when I was a kid.
Yeah. Was it Venezuela?
I don't know. Why,
they were tracking it. They were tracking a small snake that lives in the swamps.
Really?
Yeah. Might have been called a anaconda.
Oh yeah. See, we tried tracking a python in Africa, big one. It had swallowed an impala.
It'd be interesting. Now, mind you, I'd like to see an anaconda.
I'd like to
20-footer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. I just don't want to be there around when they're hungry.
Well, you could be around when it's hungry as long as you don't get too close to it.
Well, but
Yeah. I don't mind hunting a snake, but I'd be the only one on my team that would do it.
I would.
Yeah. You look out the window right now. There's a couple of little whitetail fawns standing right here on the grass right out the window.
Mommy's not too far away.
I'm sure.
I've seen them out there before.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, right on right here outside the studios on East Wausau Avenue, and
We got deer.
yeah, there's actually several that live up here because we're just on the south end of the Riverview district.
So it might be a good place to put a deer stand out here. Maybe wait for the buck. Huh?
You would have to talk to city officials.
Not only if they seen you.
Oh. Yeah, well, what is it? Okay, so we got like a minute-ish here. But don't they say, speaking of deer area, don't they say they live with like a mile, or is it a mile and a half from where they're born? Whitetail.
Yeah, me. Probably the females. The males will wander all over the place when they're looking to rut. Kind of like us.
But they literally will stay. They do not. I can't remember. I heard this stat somewhere, but it was like, okay, so it's a radius. It's not just. But you think about that. Okay, yeah, a mile and a half is kind of a long way per se, but still, that's not that big of an area that
They stick close to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I'd believe that. I don't know the stat for sure, but I would believe that.
That's stuck in my head for something just because it was kind of one of those trivia things. So, but anyhow.
Oh well, that was a good conversation. Well, let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll find out if anybody heard my conversation there. Watch my text messages.